And we were about to have a very candid conversation about falling off the wagon. This is going to be like Confessional Tuesday, however you want to say it. I'm about to beat myself up, and then I'm about to forgive myself for you guys, for myself, for everyone involved. Let's just put things into some terms. School has started, and with the start and the week leading up to it, it is insane for a teacher out there, at least for an elementary teacher. It's just absolutely crazy. And so many people just don't understand it, and I'm not here to complain about my occupation. It's totally a choice. I love it. There isn't anything else in the world that I would rather do, but it is so much more than people can even begin to understand. Just to put it into fitness terms, I've not been to the gym in 10 days. Through some faults of my own, but just as an overall, just days that I just mentally and physically and schedule-wise could not get here. And I'm going to take that back. I could have gotten here, but it would have been to the sacrifice of something else. You're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. And when school starts, it's crazy. You are setting up your classroom, which many people that you set up your classroom, you throw up a few posters. No, you take, at least at my school, you take everything down, and then you put everything back up, and you change some things, and you got kids' names on things, and you have a meet the teacher night, and you have meetings, and at the meetings they're telling you basically everything you did last year for language arts, don't do it anymore. Now we're doing this. And by the way, you're starting that in 3 days. It's crazy. And it's all for what's best for kids. Don't get me wrong. It's totally what's best for kids, and it's exactly what should happen. But I'm contracted 8 to 4. And I have spent many a days this past week getting there at 6:30 and staying until almost 5. Plus there's grocery shopping, and there is dinner to be made, and there is time to be spent with kids. And then there is more work brought home at night. Many a nights I was staying up uber late before the students came, just at my own house. I do what I can, bring it home, which sometimes is great, but sometimes not with little kids, because you really can't just work on it when they're around. It really has to be after they've gone to bed. So sometimes it's better to just stay at school, but then you feel a little better because you're at home, and just not good. And on top of that, there's lots of eating eating out, which I wish I would have brought my journal. There was, if I can just kind of recap for you, about a week prior to students actually coming, you're at meetings, and then you have your hour lunch break before you sit in another 3-hour presentation / meeting. And then you're sent back to your room to do more with that. It's not your own free time. But let's see. There was Schlotzsky's. There was pizza for me at home 3 nights in a row. There was Mexican at school as a lunch. There was Wendy's. There was Chick-fil-A. I mean, Panda Express. So if I could break it down for you, not good. The night before the students came, I remember thinking, it would be great to go to the gym, and I needed to go to the grocery store that night. And I remember calling my husband and just say, I can't. And that was the day we had Mexican food catered into school, so we ate that for lunch. And then I remember leaving, and I called them and I said, I just can't. I physically and mentally cannot go to the grocery store. I just can't do it. Order a pizza. Came home and had pizza. And pop. Ugh. So, and there was the day we had, I had pop for lunch that day too. And I don't drink diet soda, so it's like, X amount of calories of pop. Ridiculous. So I've totally fallen off the wagon. I've fallen off the wagon with my workouts. I've fallen off the wagon with my eating. Awful. Just terrible. And it's kind of one of those things, when in the moment, right before you do it and while you're doing it, it's not good, but you just know that the week of school is like that. It's just crazy. So I haven't been in 10 days. I'm parked here. I am going in. It's around 1:30. unless I drive back home. Last weekend I really should have gone both days. There was one day my husband needed to come home and mow, and that was like my perfect excuse to say, well, by the time he mows and he needs to get to bed so he can get up and go to work that night. I know. Should have gone anyway, but I didn't. And here's the thing about falling off the wagon. And with anything, you just have to pick yourself up, let yourself feel that guilt and feel upset about it, and the mommy guilt, the occupational guilt, the whatever guilt you need to feel. I messed up. I made some poor choices. Last weekend, even though I didn't get to the gym, I ate perfectly on point. I have not weighed myself since the beginning of school because I just knew that it probably wasn't going to be great. And I don't focus on a number. I really don't care what the number on the scale says, as long as I look and feel good and my clothes are, that kind of thing is more what I'm focused on. And so I will weigh myself on the weekend just to kind of see where I'm at, if I am maintaining or if I've gained. And surprisingly, I was only 0.2 up after these basically 10 days of just totally blowing it. And when I say totally blowing it, I don't mean, I know I was blowing it per meals, but I wasn't blowing it like breakfast, lunch, dinner every day. Although calorie-wise, certainly was crazy several days. Definitely way over, and definitely under on the protein. So my plan is to get back on track. And so in order to get back on track, step one, get back to the gym. That's how I started this summer, going to the gym. And I think Monday through Friday, I'm going to have a pretty set eat this, drink that. I think that will be easiest for me. There will be flexibility in there, but I think breakfast-wise, because I do get up and I do get to school pretty early, I need to stick with something that's super quick and super easy. I do make my meals ahead of time, but even heating them up in the microwave and then eating while I'm getting ready, sometimes I'd rather just get ready and then eat while I'm doing stuff at school. Or drink a protein shake on the way. And then having a fairly set lunch to eat, and having my waffles every night, I think will, really bring me back into that. And then having some flexibility with dinner. So, we'll just kind of see. But having basically the 4 or 5 things that I'm going to be eating pretty set, I think is what's going to help me. And really making sure that these Saturdays and Sundays, when I have the most amount of time, that I'm going into the gym. Now, here's what I'm not going to do. I am not going to say, okay, for the last 10 days you've eaten junky, so for the next 10 days you have to eat low carb, low fat. I'm not going to do that. As the scale showed, that's fine. I don't need to do more than that, other than just getting back on track of what I was eating. And I'm also not going to say, okay, you didn't go to the gym for 10 days, now you need to be in here piling up 3 workouts in one workout. I'm not going to be here for 3 hours. I'm doing 45 minutes to an hour. Just get back on track. You can't punish yourself in that way. You can't punish yourself by turning around and skipping meals and trying to eat 500 calories for the day. Don't do that. It's a cruel and unusual punishment. It is what it is. That's what's happened. It's more about getting back on track and feeling good about yourself. I wasn't even logging in MyFitnessPal because I just knew it just wasn't good. And sometimes I'm one of those people, like, I will go back and then like to beat myself up about it more when it's documented. I was kind of keeping track of it in my journal, not like calories, things like that, just Muir and Cheeto, Wendy's, just so I can look back and say, okay, now let's get back on track. What's it going to take to erase those meals, which you really can't. Like I said, you don't want to turn around and say, okay, those were 2,000 days, so now I need to eat 500 calories or less. No, just get back to where you were. Get back to the healthy meals, get back to start tracking, get back into the gym, do what you need to do. That's about it. And there will probably be other times and other weeks when this may happen again. And it's really about the balance. It truly is. I have not erased in these 10 days what I've done over the past 8 weeks, because for pretty much 8 weeks I stuck to a plan and I was super consistent. So 8 weeks is 56 days, 10 days of, out of 66 days of eating, well, it's a small percentage, and that's really what the balance is if you eat well most of the time and you have these situations that arise, it's not going to completely derail you. It's when you do 3 days and then blow it, and then you do another 3 days and you blow it, and you do it, you know what I mean? Like, that's still okay. It's still 3 days that's consistent and 1 day that's not, but you definitely want a higher percentage of hitting where you need to be, so 75% or above. And I will keep you updated once the school year really gets going and everything is into a routine, and you're not spending so much time just with the basics of everything. Then it's much more manageable and easier. I still look at the calendar, and there's at least 1 or 2 nights out of the week that are just can't, you just can't. So, and I don't know, I may have to figure out there may need to be something done in the mornings. So I'm still going to shoot for evenings for this next week and just kind of see how that goes. There was one night, Thursday night, I came home this week and I was exhausted. I was physically exhausted between not being able to fall asleep, getting up early, really stressing myself out. And my body, I can really tell when I'm stressed. I got a cold sore like the few days prior to having to report to school. I now have a sty over here that's nice and puffy, which is another reason I'm looking so glamorous today, and I don't have any mascara on. A lot of people, it's a clogged tear duct. I always get them when I'm stressed. I'm not wearing any more makeup than I normally do on a daily basis. I haven't switched any kind of makeup. I'm still, I'm doing all of the normal things that I do. So that's not it. For me, it's stress. Anyway, enough rambling. I'm going to get in there. I'm excited because it's been 10 days, which, sometimes it's good to take a break anyway. But I'm going to do, since I'm splitting these 2 days and kind of calling that good for the week and starting fresh, as my week's going to start on Mondays. So that's how I'm perceiving it to be, or how I'm doing it. I'm going to do lower body because it's my least motivational, and I figure that will, if I'm doing upper body and I really like that, then that will really help me go tomorrow. So, going to do lower body, going to do my cardio, 45 minutes to an hour, in and out. And then I'll feel good about myself. So, I know I've rambled on, made this uber long, but when you fall off the wagon, forgive yourself, pick yourself up, and get back to what you're good at and what you know is the right thing to do as soon as you have the chance. So turn it around. Don't stay in that place that I blew it, it's too late, this is just how it's going to be. No, make it be what you want it to be. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. All right, it's done. I'm back on the wagon. It was a great workout. I actually felt stronger and more energized. Not what I was expecting. Sometimes when you take 10 days off, it feels like you're starting a year later, and it felt a little bit like that, but I'm feeling really good. I've got the after work high going on, after workout high going on, so I'm very proud of myself. I'm back on the wagon. I've eaten very well today, and it's going to be great. I'm going to make it work, and I hope you are too. Remember, what's your one thing? You're worth it. Even if you fall off the wagon, you're still worth it. Get back on. Don't give up. Keep trying. Find something to re-motivate yourself. Sometimes we have motivation, but how do you re-motivate yourself when that motivation starts to fail? How do you keep it going? It's so easy to throw in the towel, but don't do what's easiest. Do what's best. That's what I always say as a teacher and a person. So, did I see you at the gym? Did we high five? If you've been missing me at the gym, I'm back. So, that's it. Had a great workout. Going home. Gonna get some other stuff done. Enjoy your day, and be blessed as always. Bye.